Holy shit. Whoa. Holy.
And you can keep the dollar as a souvenir.
Yo.
The dollar might have to go up on the wall.
Zoomed. Holy cow.
I wish
Yes,
that
can
was.
see. I don't know if you can see that.
430.
Did you get it?
430. Yo. So for our digital listeners, go
Go check the video.
to YouTube.
It's a must-watch video.
All right. Welcome back to the RUNITBACK podcast, the podcast where you come for entertainment, stay for the sports. This is a podcast for the culture. And I'm one of your hosts, Percy.
I'm BOBBYBANDZZ.
And we got a full house in here today. Reef in the back somewhere doing what he do. On the couch, we rearranged a little bit. We got Bruce on the couch. We got Chris the gas man right there with him. And to my right, we got Double Out of Great.
Hey.
And behind the camera, we got Tasha Mack.
Welcome back, everybody.
One of the first ladies of the RUNITBACK family.
And I am really excited for this episode. I've been telling everybody. We got George Stanton in the building.
Yay.
Well-known magician. Is that what you refer yourself? Like, is that like what you refer yourself to?
Yeah,
Magician?
it's fine. Uh-huh.
So, local magician from Chicago. Well, residing in Chicago, right?
Yeah. And well, from Detroit.
From
but
Detroit? Okay.
Here in Chicago. Live in Chicago now.
So you got that Detroit versus everybody attitude or what?
Yeah, did you see my sweatshirt? It's Detroit versus everybody.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right, we kicking it off right there.
What would you say the difference coming in from Detroit and then coming to Chicago? Because now you said you've been here for a couple years now.
Yeah, so I've been here for about 4 years now. I came for school. I actually played soccer, and I got recruited to play at the school that I go to now.
Oh, nice.
But I got injured my freshman year, and that was basically the wrap on that.
Sounds like me.
Yeah. So after I got injured and I stopped playing, I had a lot of free time on my hands, and magic was always something that I just did kind of for fun. You know, I started in 6th grade, and I was really about it for about a year. And then I stopped, and I just kind of did it on and off. And then after I stopped, that's when I started playing soccer and got recruited to play. But after my injury, I had so much free time on my hands after I stopped playing. I just kind of started bringing it back up again and started taking it more seriously, and it's just escalated a lot from there. So, but it's Detroit. It's completely different from Chicago.
Is it?
Like I feel like I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing now, or I wouldn't have been able to get to the extent that I'm at now if I was still in Detroit.
Yeah, Detroit kind of, I don't know, they say economically it's kind of like bad. Well, not bad because they're building it back up for the, how bad it was for the 90s to 2000s and all that. So I don't think there's not much, right? There's not much out there compared to Chicago. Yeah,
I mean, it's definitely better than it was, in the 90s, 2000s, but Chicago is definitely the place to be doing what I'm doing. There's so much opportunity and so many people to meet and get connected with and everything. It's just overall way better in Detroit.
Yeah. Well, my next question was, so most of their networking comes from in face, on the ground, like moving around and meeting all these people yourself, right? There's not really, you have to do your tricks in front of people, right?
Right.
So would you say most of the networking you do is in person, streetwise?
Yeah, I mean, I would say so. I mean, I have Instagram and YouTube and Facebook and Twitter and all those things, but it's definitely different seeing it in person than it is, watching it through video. And I think it's a market that you don't know you need until you see it in person, you know? So yeah, I'd say the major connections are definitely made in person. Absolutely.
So you are online, you are on social. Mm-hmm. Shout yourself out. Where can people find you?
Instagram, GS Magic. Facebook is George Stanton Magic. And YouTube, George Stanton Magic as well. And on Twitter, GS Magic 313. And then I have my website, GeorgeStantonMagic.com.
So you're not shy about this magic stuff. This magic is what you do. Okay.
Yeah. It's. I've been doing it about a year and a half.
Okay.
Professionally now. My first gig was I think a year and a half. Summer 2018.
Here in Chicago.
Yeah, in Chicago. And it's gotten a lot better since the first gig. I've been building my brand and meeting people, and so it's definitely what I want to be doing with my life.
Is that why you're studying business? Like you said, you're studying business administration.
Yeah, with concentration in management. No, like I decided as my major before I really started getting into it, and it was basically because I didn't know what I wanted my major to be, and business is just super broad,
right?
And you can do a lot of stuff within that. So I just picked business, but it just kind of coincided perfectly, when I started my own business, and so it just worked out. Yeah,
it makes sense. It works out. Yeah. So you said about a year and a half ago was the first gig.
Yeah.
Walk us through that gig, like the emotions of that, the nerves.
So it was actually really, really crazy. So I had got it. I was doing street magic at a festival called Division Fest. Probably heard of it.
Yeah. Okay.
And I had gotten my first gig off of that festival. I was performing for a group of people, and I saw this guy watching from the background, and he approached me after and was like, "Hey, I saw what you did. You think you can perform for me and my family? We're sitting right over there." And you're like, "Okay, cool." So we go over there, and I performed for them about 15 minutes or so, and I think he tipped me like $40, which is really nice. And he ended up reaching out like maybe a month, maybe less than that, about a month later, and asked me to come to his daughter's birthday party. And he said he was turning 3, and I don't really do kids' birthday parties because the stuff I do is more so. The little kids would have a hard time grasping it, to say the least. And definitely 3 years old, like that's a pretty young age. So I told him, like, it's not really for kids, it'd be more so for adults. And he was like, "No, just come, it'll be great." So I was like, all right. So I went, and we walked in, and we got there early, so it was pretty empty. People were still, starting to arrive and whatnot. And I left something in my car, and I went back to get it, and we came back, and we walked through the door, and we see Chance the Rapper his wife, and his whole family was there. And the guy that hired me ended up being someone very close to him and his team, part of his team. And so my first gig, I performed for him and his whole family, and right, no pun intended.
Yeah, no pun intended. What are the chances for real?
And it was super crazy, and but it kind of prepared me for anything. Like that was my first gig, and performing for someone like him, his influence in Chicago was just kind of like, all right, like I'm prepared for everything I'm walking into now. But it was really dope. It was awesome. So that was the first one.
That is pretty dope. Now, when you were at Division Fest, were you kind of just there at the fest and decided to put on a show?
No,
or were you invited, or how'd that work out?
Yeah, we just went. Me and my videographer, we just went with the intention to go shoot street magic, and we were just literally walking around group to group. And it was in the early stages of me doing magic, so I was still finding myself as a magician, and figuring out the type of stuff I wanted to do, and my persona and how I wanted to present everything. It was really early stages, so I wasn't anywhere near the level that I am now, but still good enough to be able to be asked to perform at a gig. So yeah, we just went, and it was our intention to go shoot, and ended up getting my first gig off of it. So it was great.
What would you say your concentration is? Because there's different kind of magicians, right?
Yeah.
What would your specialty be?
Yeah, so card magic, mentalism, and another category, we'll call it general magic, that doesn't really fit into either of those two categories. But those are the three that I reside in.
Okay.
I think card magic is kind of self-explanatory.
Right.
Yeah. Break down mentalism for us that aren't familiar.
So, in short, reading minds, influencing subconscious cues, basically understanding being able to read people and how people think, and
oh, you've been
being
reading
able
us
to-
this whole time, bro. You've been watching us this whole time.
Chris Angel, mind freak.
So would you say that's kind of like the videos where you see online where they'll say, "I'll guess the name or the color you're thinking"?
you mean like those interactive ones, like where they?
Yeah, where it's like pick a color, pick another name or something, and then it's just like the color you were thinking was blue, and then just like I was thinking blue.
Well, sort of, maybe not, maybe more.
I think I simplified it a little too
Yeah,
much.
that was really simplified version.
I
Yeah,
think he's
but
trying to not be rude and say you don't know magic. Like,
I'm just saying the videos that I've seen, something that people may be familiar with.
yeah, no, I've definitely seen those. But yeah, like a simplified version of it.
Right,
you know,
okay.
Basically, but it's taken to the next level.
Right,
You'll see.
What would you say your influences would be? Because we know most people that do like no magic, know the big ones, the Chris Angel he spoke of.
Dynamo,
Who else?
David Blaine.
David Blaine. Are those the guys that influenced you the most?
More so.
Penn and Teller.
Yeah, more so David Blaine. He's definitely one of my idols, and I think, the best to be doing it today. But it's kind of funny because, when I was really decided that, okay, like being a magician, this is a profession. I think this is what I want to do with my life, is what I want my profession to be. And I started looking into, different types of magic. And like I was saying earlier, kind of deciding on, what type I wanted to do and how I wanted to present it. And, I started getting my own ideas about how I think magic should be done and how I think it should be presented. And then I came across David Blaine. It wasn't like I always knew who he was from a young age, but I didn't really look into his material and watch his shows like that. So
It was more of a name.
yeah, so I started researching, other magicians and came across him and started watching some of his interviews, and I was like, wow, like this guy actually thinks of magic and has the same type of philosophies about it that I do. And it was very similar to what I thought about it, what he thought, and how he thought it should be performed. So I started watching his Netflix specials that were out and his TV series and whatnot, and I was like, wow, like he's doing it, similarly to how I envisioned myself to be doing it. So he became someone I looked up to just because of the nature of how he does it versus how I do, and so definitely him. Chris Angel is more so big stage illusions. He's more so a stage magician.
You're more of a street.
More so prop.
Yeah,
Video cut. Cut. Make it seem like it's really a trick, and it's like it looks good on video, but it's a lot of time and cost that's going into this.
Right,
I've watched a lot of videos on.
Right, he's one of those types of magicians that will do anything to pull off the effects. So like stooging and and I'm not really into all that, but he's more so a stage illusionist. And I'm close up definitely.
David Blaine is more my lane too, and Penn and Teller. Card tricks, and sleight of hand.
Right.
Like, fascinates me. That one Asian kid that just won the
Penn and Teller show.
Was it? Yeah, he won that, and then he won on like
America's Got Talent. Shin Lim.
Yeah, he's crazy. With
How old is
card
he?
tricks they fascinate me.
Yeah.
How old is he?
Shin
How
Lim.
old is he? Look it up right now.
I think maybe late 20s if I had to guess.
I can look it up right now.
Yeah. You said something that I was gonna ask you. Basically, like, so late 20s.
Yeah.
So you said timing and sleight of hand and things like that. Would you liken magic to like stand-up comedy, where it's timing and precision and accuracy and just like, I don't want to say a little bit of luck, but skill and luck, So when I was thinking about it as like hitting a home run. Mm-hmm. You have the skill to execute, but a lot of things have to go right to do it perfectly.
Yeah. In that way you can liken it to a stand-up comedian. I think you mentioned accuracy and
Right.
precision and everything.
Timing.
Timing, those are all very key components of magic. And obviously magic and comedy are two completely different things and
Right.
two different lanes, but when you put it that way, they can be compared to each other. Now there are comedy magicians,
Right.
but I wouldn't want to go down that lane, and I don't, because it's one of the things that I think good magic should be, one of the things I think should be judged when looking at magic, at least for me, is the believability of it all.
Yeah, you have to respect it. You can't like that's why I was so excited about it, because I didn't let me see if I can figure it out.
Yeah,
I go into it with a head of just accepting the magic and walking away and saying, "Oh my God, what the fuck?"
Right. That was crazy.
At home, let me try this.
I like to do things, and I like to see things that will make people think. Wait, did he actually? Is he actually doing what it looks like he's doing? And I think when you're a stand-up or when you're a comedy magician,
comedy magician, gotcha.
It kind of takes away that factor. It's presented more as a trick, where I like to try and present it as an experience more than anything else. You can definitely compare a stand-up comic to a magician in terms of accuracy.
Are there 10 rules of magic that every magician follows through, like that, or is it just every person kind of builds
10 magic commandments?
10 magic commandments or something, or is there every magician builds their own kind of brand, amongst themselves?
You interested in magic?
Don't worry about it, bro. Don't worry about it.
No, I wouldn't say there's any set rules. Everyone knows magician never reveals his secrets type of thing.
You're leading right into my next question.
I guess that's accurate, but in terms of a set of rules, I wouldn't say so. Because people do magic and present magic in different ways and have their own different ideas and how to do it and everything. So, and I think that's one of the great things about it. You can learn something and put your own creative twist on it, and that's what I like to do. Taking in material and making it suit me, and how I do it. But no, I don't think there's no set rules.
Of magic.
Yeah. Set rules, commandments of magic. Not that I'm aware of.
I was a kid that grew up on shows like The Masked Magician. You familiar?
Yeah, was he the guy that revealing?
Yeah.
Wearing the mask and he's saying how popular illusions are done?
Right, this is how you do it.
Yeah,
I think I remember that.
Yeah.
You can refuse to answer if you want, but what are your thoughts on magicians? This is how this is done. And I've seen to second
he just
bounce
said
off of that.
You shouldn't reveal your secrets. So.
Right.
It's because that show he was revealing really popular stage illusions, and when that show was around and people were watching it, I wasn't even into magic. I don't think, or I wasn't doing it consistently, so it didn't really bother me then. But when I'm thinking about it now, I don't know. I don't necessarily. I don't know. It's kind of tough.
So I'll put it into current terms. I've seen how Penn and Teller have I think it's the Fool Me show, Fool Us, and people will do a trick, and if they fool Penn and Teller, people will then go on YouTube and make a video. This is how they did it.
Yeah,
the card tricks and things like that.
Yeah, I think that's disrespectful. Very disrespectful. Because it's considered a great accomplishment to fool Penn and Teller just because of how well known they are and how vast their magic knowledge is. So if you fool them, it's a pretty big accomplishment for people to immediately then make a video and go, okay, this is how it's done. That's what, and 9 times out of 10 they'll be wrong anyway.
That works, but it's not how I did it.
But yeah, no, I don't think that's not cool. Gotcha. So I guess thinking about it that way, but that was a magician who was revealing, on the show. what was it called? Mask.
Yeah, the Masked Magicians. Yeah.
I remember watching that. I used to be like, damn, why is he doing this? I was a little kid because, like I said, I really was into that shit. And I was just like, this is fucked up. Like he's like literally just putting the whole game out there.
I just couldn't wait. I'm like, this is my favorite magician.
It was like on Channel 50 or something like that.
Yeah, I believe it was.
So I mean, it's I mean, like you said about the Penn and Teller thing, I think that's pretty disrespectful, not right to do.
Right.
Making a video and saying, but so I guess when thinking about it, Penn and Teller, the Masked Magician, I guess I should have the same opinion, but maybe I'm biased because I wasn't.
Well,
it's not the type of magic I do.
Really revealing. They write it in a notebook and then they come in
Right,
with a script.
right. They speak in code. Yeah.
They talk in real good code.
Right, so the audience.
No, the other one doesn't. I can't remember.
You know, so like, unless you know magic talk in terms.
Yeah, you'll be out of the loop. You'll have no.
Yeah.
I feel like part of having a great trick is knowing that everyone
was fooled.
It's
the mystery of it. That's the
and having other magicians saying, "Damn, I'm gonna try to figure this out myself." You know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're called magician foolers when an effect is done that can fool even magicians.
Yeah.
So that's
Is it kind of cool being in on the illusion or the trick? So like you see a magician performing their act, and you see you're knowing how it happens, and just waiting for the pop reaction of, oh shit, like how'd you pull that out of there?
Yeah, I mean, I think when magicians watch other magicians, like on America's Got Talent and whatnot, I mean, it's pretty common to know the method, but I think we appreciate
the craft of
right,
it too.
the cleanliness of it, and the presentation of it, and how good it is. So I mean, most magicians will know maybe the method of it, but you can still really appreciate how well it's done, because that's right. Yeah. So
do you perform like on the street by yourself, or do you have an assistant that you travel with? I know you said you have a cameraman as well.
Yeah, it's always me, and his name is Daniel. It's always me and Daniel. He's my videographer and also my manager. So it's all. Recently, we've been bringing my friend who's a photographer to gigs, and he's been taking pictures while Daniel's doing the recording. But in terms of street magic, it's always just us two.
Just y'all two.
But we'll probably start bringing my friend who's a photographer with us too to do street magic as well. Yeah.
You said you traveled most of the Chicago area. Have you been anywhere else traveling, doing magic?
Yeah. So L.A. we went last May. We were in Santa Monica and L.A. and Venice Beach and all those places. And
how was that? How was that compared to here? Like walking down Navy Pier, is it kind of similar, or like the reactions similar?
Yeah, I mean, I think 9 times out of 10 people will always react
like
pretty well, but LA there's like a lot of crazy people down there. So
there are.
We met some characters for sure.
Hilarious.
But it was really, really fun. That was the first time going to LA and performing there. I'd been before, but I wasn't really doing magic with it. So, but besides, other than LA, Detroit, obviously, Wisconsin, went to St. Louis, and I think that's it so far. But we have a list of places that we want to go this year to film and get footage and everything. So there'll definitely be more places added to it for sure.
2020, what are you guys looking to add to next? I know you said you have YouTube, you have Instagram. Are you guys just going to keep feeding content, trying to get as much exposure as you can? Yeah,
so that's one of the major goals is consistent content, on all platforms, because posting consistently, I mean, you guys know, like that's going to boost the algorithms in your favor and more people will start seeing your stuff and this and that. So that's definitely a goal. I think when I got, over Christmas break. Yeah, it was over Christmas break. And I went back to Detroit, went back home. I literally made like a whole list of, 2020 goals and, things that, we wanted to accomplish and people we wanted to meet, things we wanted to do. So we have like a whole list of things because we want 2020 to be the year that things really start popping, so to speak.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a whole list.
Are you going to be back at the Vision Fest again, doing the street festivals?
Probably.
Yeah.
We're definitely going to be doing as many events and festivals over the summer. Like, we're trying to shoot at least 3 or 4 days out of the
I
week.
might hire you for my birthday, bro. Hire this guy for my birthday. Everybody's going to be like, damn, he really likes this magic shit.
But yeah, so it's going to be a pretty productive year for sure. And you guys will be up to date.
Yeah, hell yeah. We'll definitely be following. Hell yeah,
for sure. So we had a DJ up here. We asked them, like, when they play a certain song, the crowd pops, right? Mm-hmm. So now when you execute, I guess, like the punchline, I can equate it to, or like the final reveal. Thank you.
No problem.
When you execute the reveal and you get that pop, is that something you kind of look forward to, or like it gives you a rush? That's an excitement that you like.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I think people reacting to what I do, as well as they react to it, is always encouragement and kind of, the thumbs up to keep doing what I'm doing.
What's the craziest reaction you've gotten?
So,
one of those characters in LA?
No, I think the craziest, I mean, there's been like so many really good ones, but in terms of the craziest, probably most eccentric,
nice
I was
word.
doing.
It wasn't Reef, right? It wasn't Reef.
No.
Because Reef was stripping earlier.
I was doing street magic last year at Wicker Fest.
Okay.
And I do this thing where I unlock someone's phone without them telling me the password, and these two guys were.
Holy shit.
These two guys were really.
I could have used you, bro. Like,
it's actually.
I was just locked out of my phone for like a week.
It's actually
seemed like a month.
This is actually on YouTube too. Street Magic Volume 2 on my YouTube channel. But these two guys were really doubting.
I'll put the card right here or right there somewhere.
Yeah.
Street Magic Volume 2. Check it out.
These two guys were really doubting that I could do it, and when I did it. One of the guys started yelling, "Oh, crack my card, crack my card." Like just profusely yelling. Like, pulled out his card, like yelling, like really, like just being really crazy. Like you'll have to. I'll show you guys.
That's different.
Yeah, that's funny. Only in Chicago. He was definitely from Chicago.
No, he's definitely.
He said Wicker Fest.
That's a nigga from Chicago. Crack my card.
So, and a lot of people, I had to, when I put it in the video, a lot of people who aren't from Chicago don't know what that means. So,
Yeah.
I put like the definition.
Like gangland, boom, crack my card.
But that always comes to mind when people ask what like just the craziest reaction is. I'll show you guys.
He actually posted a status saying like he was excited about this episode on Facebook, and the guy said, "Oh, he's doing magic till he'll make $1 million appear."
I said I'll try to get 10 out of him, 10,000.
Yeah, that's always about turn a dollar into 100. Like people always make say things like that and make those jokes.
That's funny.
Typical.
You ever just write 2 zeros on it with the $1?
No, I mean that's actually something that can be done.
Gotcha.
But no.
Oh damn.
I won't ask you how, but we'll talk about that off camera.
All right, sounds good.
So, what's the goal of like a magician? Is it to be like those big shows performing? Like, is that your goal, or do you want to be more on the visuals on YouTube and?
So. It varies for different magicians, but for me, like I said, this is something that I want to do, with my life completely. I don't want to have to worry about, having to get a second job or anything like that. I want this to be my one and only thing that I'm doing. So for me, the ultimate goal is just to be able to sustain myself just doing this, doing what I love. But in terms of venues, I know that one day I'll probably have to develop, a stage show.
Stage presence.
But the goal, is to be traveling around the world, doing, what I do, in close-up settings.
Yeah.
We're talking about me performing at bigger venues, but, having like a big screen in the background.
Oh, so like, okay,
and,
yeah.
Having camera crew
up close,
but it being projected onto the screen.
So you still get that up close vibe or feel. Yeah.
And that was actually because how I met my videographer, he was running a open mic on campus, and he was trying to get people to perform at it. And he had heard about me, and he had asked me to close out his open mic with a performance. And the way we did it was we had like a monitor in the background, and he was up close recording and it was just being projected onto the screen. So something like that would be awesome. But yeah, just to, like I said, ultimate goal is just being able to just do this and sustain myself and, live the type of life I want to live, just, doing what I love,
Yeah.
So what was the first public trick, is it? What you call it? Or like illusion?
Yeah, or effect, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah.
Don't want to be disrespectful. I'm trying to learn something new every day.
Your first magic trick, sir. We're gonna keep this
The first thing I ever learned, like I said, I started in 6th grade, and I was on YouTube, just messed around on my dad's computer, and came across this random magic video. And in the video, the guy had these 2 red balls, and he'd like put one in his hand and give someone the other ball, and the ball from his hand would disappear and end up in the other person's hand. It was, really basic stuff to start out with, but they're called sponge balls.
You're explaining, his mind's blown.
I'm sitting here like, wait, I was just imagining these things just disappearing right now.
Yeah, so that was the first thing that I started out with. And then that progressed to card magic, and then I stopped really doing magic, and when I got back into it, it was card magic, and that progressed to mentalism, and then, other things. So
do people come knock on your door and like, yo, I heard you could do magic, and ask you like for magic stuff or not?
I think
because I'm sure like friends of friends be like, yo, this guy,
Yeah. I think not so much anymore, because a lot of people know, around school what I do, and have seen a lot, and so it's not so much anymore. But like when I was first really starting doing it, and people were like putting me on Snapchat and everything, like that was definitely. Yeah. But now people are used to it, and aren't really surprised when I do something. They're just kind of like, oh, like I feel like I could fly around campus, and people would just be like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's
we expected it.
Yeah. So, magician.
Well, that means you're good then.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. That means because it's not like people are like, oh, they trust your work.
Right. So not so much anymore, but definitely a year ago.
Have you received the? You've inspired me to get into magic too, or I like how you do it. I want to do it.
Not that inspired me to start doing magic, but people have sent me lots of messages and said like, yo, like because of you, like I believe in magic now, and that makes me feel really good.
That feels much better.
Yeah, like that's like the best compliment that I could receive. Things like that, right. But I don't think I've gotten anyone who has said like, oh, I want to start doing magic because of you now. Maybe in the future but not yet. But it's comments like that, that's still great. Like,
I think I prefer that one.
Yeah.
You said earlier about David Blaine being like one of your big like inspirations to magic. Mm-hmm. What was it exactly about like his tricks and how he carried himself as a magician that you wanted to kind of follow what he had, or take a piece from what he did as a magician?
Yeah. So one of the reasons why there's a couple of things with that. One of the reasons why I really love magic is because I'm able to meet so many diverse groups of people. I started this photo series on my social media. It's called Magic Unites Everybody, and what it is, the concept of it is me, taking pictures with different people that I performed for, all of different backgrounds and financial status, and it doesn't matter if you're black or white or poor, rich, whatever. Like, magic kind of comes in and completely destroys that. It's for everybody, and that was something that I had realized early on, and once I started looking into David Blaine, and I saw this interview with him explaining what he likes about magic, he kind of touched on that same thing, and that was like kind of a click, because I've never really heard anyone express it before. So when he said that, I was like, okay, like wow, like that that I resonate with that a lot, because that was something that I started to realize about it too. And then he went on to talk about how presentation and timing and believability and consistency and all these different qualities that he thinks makes a good magician, which was all things that I resonated with as well, because for me it's a lot about presentation. Like I want to be a good magician, and I want my material to be good, but I also want to be a good performer as well, and be able to and be able to present it in a way that's gonna capture people's attention, and that people will enjoy. So he kind of stressed presentation and timing and things like that I was starting to realize and see for myself. Like, this is qualities that a good magician should have. So once I saw that those were things that that were important to him as well, it made me really dive into him and see and watch him perform and listen.
For a new trick, how long would you say you practice, like to perfect that trick, that magic trick?
Yeah, so I guess it depends on what it is, but I never like to perform anything that I'm not 100% comfortable with, and that I feel that I have down, and like it's taken me months to get comfortable with one thing, or to really get something down, and it's just endless hours of practice and perseverance, and because it's not easy, but
you enjoy it, so
it's the
doesn't seem
way,
like work.
Right? Yeah, it's that's like the most fun part, putting in the work, to get it down, because that's where all the experimentation and practice and just seeing what works and what doesn't. It's fun for me, and then the reward is going out and performing and seeing how people react to it, and that's like the real satisfaction, seeing it positively affect people, which is
you're bringing people together. People are laughing, smiling,
right?
People are freaking out. They're kids, really, and it's like when it comes to magic, the first thing I'm sure people say is like, bring, here's my son, do something for my son, or here's my kids, try to, and then they're so into it, just along with the kids,
right?
Or it's crazy. I'm sure that's why I'm so like excited about it. I'm sure on the other end, it's more exciting when you see my face and everyone else's face.
Yeah, that's definitely, and it's also, like the reactions are one thing, but being able to seamlessly do difficult things, in front of people, like this, the satisfaction of being able to, do what, pull it off. Because it's, like I said, it's not necessarily easy, but it's worth it. The reward is, seeing reactions and, being able, so it's.
Who are some of the people that you have performed in front of? Like, besides, you said Chance the Rapper, is there anybody else? You said King Louis, right? So I guess people that you guys might know, Chance the Rapper, and I just got lucky with that one. He just happened to be there. King Louis was another guy that I performed. I used to work with this promoter who introduced me to him, and then we became pretty close and whatnot. Recently, I had performed for Val Warner. She's the host of Windy City Live.
Oh, wow.
And I might actually now, as a result of that, be making an appearance on the show, which is good.
Oh, dope.
Latasha Scott, she's part of this group called Escape.
Familiar?
Yeah, it's like T.I.'s wife is in it too. And it was actually at that same event, Val Warner and Latasha. Then this woman by the name of Elise Swopes, she's a really famous graphic designer, photographer here in Chicago, local. But yeah, we've been Joe Fresh Goods. I don't know if you've heard of them.
Yeah, familiar.
We've been targeting influential people of Chicago and trying to get in touch with them and be able to perform for them in some way or another. Because those are the type of people that we want to work with and can really help give you exposure. So people like them, we've been targeting.
Yeah. It's working. Hey,
no, it's definitely working. I mean, it's kind of difficult because people like Joe Fresh Goods, like he's been like doing a bunch of stuff and been really busy and whatnot, and trying to get in contact with him is hard. But I mean, it's just everything works out in due time. Like I think he told us, that he's really busy, but we'll get together in the future.
We got a couple of guests that are supposed to come on, but they're traveling or something, just schedule really is time. Timing is everything. So I feel like everything's going to happen for a reason. And when they come on,
it'll be the right time.
It'll be the right time for everybody.
Right. Yeah. It will. So, those influential people in Chicago, those are a few of the people that we've been targeting, trying to get connected with. And, so.
Appreciate you even coming out. You ready for this one, Magic, bro?
I think he's tired of waiting.
I'm ready, bro.
I've been enjoying it.
I think we can get into some magic.
Okay.
Do you need anything from us?
No.
Okay.
So we'll do this.
I'm excited.
I actually prepared something for you guys. Do you have I guess you can just put this under the cup or just keep it so I can't get to it.
Okay.
Yeah. So we need a really big number, but that number is gonna consist of a bunch of smaller numbers that you'll come up with. Okay. So take the calculator for a second.
All right.
And also, are you right-handed or left-handed?
Right-handed.
Okay. So you guys won't see this, but I'm set. Look at me for 1 second.
All right.
You said right?
Right.
Let your right hand palm up. Okay. Is it okay if I put my hand here?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not gonna disappear, right?
No.
Oh shit!
Close your eyes.
Right.
Take a deep breath in, and then let it out. Okay. The first 2-digit number that comes to mind now. Don't say it out loud, but do you have a number in mind?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Open
2
your
digits?
eyes. Open your eyes. Type it in the calculator. Hit times. Another 2-digit number, the first number that comes to mind. You got one?
Yeah.
Hit times again. A number up to 10, the first number that comes to mind.
Up to 10?
Type it in. Hit times. Another number up to 10, the first number that comes to mind. Hit times again. Now, think of a good memory, something in your life that happened to you that stands out, whatever you want. It could be simple or major, but something good.
Oh, okay, got it.
Now, think back on that memory and try and recall the exact time you think it happened. So if you don't know, take your best guess, but it could be 5 o'clock, 6:15, 7:30, whatever it is for you. But don't say it out loud.
Okay.
So for example, if it was 7:30, you would just type 730. Or if it was 8 o'clock, 800. Whatever the time is, type it in and then hit equals. Tell me when you hit equals.
I did.
Okay. And you can show Percy. You probably got a pretty big number now, right? You can show him. Okay, so do you think that maybe because I was touching you, I could have influenced you to type in the numbers that you typed in? No? I'm going to keep this in view. I gave you something before this began. Yeah, you guys can see that?
Yeah.
Can you take it out? What is it? $1? Yeah, on every dollar, there's a unique number called a serial number.
Holy
Can you see?
Holy shit, look.
Do they match?
Yo, yeah, they do. 3605119. I wish you could zoom into this shit.
Now, hold on. You also thought of a time, too, right?
Yeah.
I set my watch, which he's been holding from the very beginning. What was the
I haven't
time?
moved.
4:30.
What was the time that I set on the watch?
4:30.
Holy shit. Whoa. Holy.
And you can keep the dollar as a souvenir.
Yo.
The dollar might have to go up on
He
the
must
wall.
have zoomed. Holy cow.
I wish
You guys can see. I don't know if you can see that.
4:30.
Did you get it?
4:30. Yo. So for our digital listeners, go
check the video.
Go to YouTube.
It's a must-watch video.
You need this?
Go to YouTube. Go to IG. The snippet will be there. It will be tagged.
Keep it. Souvenir.
Watch it change it. I'm gonna play the lotto.
Chicago being Chicago.
We can
No,
try one.
I wish it was like that show where it reveals how you can do it.
She's
awesome.
You ready for the other person?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Do you have your phone on? Right?
I do.
Can you unlock it?
Unlocked.
Can you open Safari or a web browser or whatever?
Yep.
And go to google.com. Okay. Have you guys ever used Wikipedia before? Mm-hmm. Okay, so if you had to guess how many articles there are on Wikipedia, just a rough estimate, what would you say?
Articles on Wikipedia?
Yeah, like 10.
It's gotta be in the
Billions?
Yeah.
Billions?
Yeah.
Right? Billions?
Billions? Okay, do me a favor.
You think that much? Billions?
Articles? Yeah.
Articles? Yeah.
Well, each person ever.
Because it's public information too with
Where we
Wikipedia.
going on Wikipedia?
Search on Google how many articles are there on Wikipedia.
People search some weird stuff. How many inches?
That's your search history, bro.
No, this is Google, bro.
Are there on Wikipedia? Yeah. And then you can just hit whatever the first link is. We'll see if it gives a number. Does it give a number?
It does.
Okay. Can you read it out loud?
That is 6,021,649.
Okay.
That's how many articles there are?
Articles
Okay.
in the in the English Wikipedia as of the 26th of February 2020. Oh, it gives the words too,
Right.
with an average of approximately 1,029 words per article. So actually, since it gives the words, I'm going to put this in a perspective so you guys know how difficult this is actually going to be.
Okay.
So it says 1,029, right? And basically 6 million words. So
Right.
if I multiply that by 6 million, that's over 6 billion words on Wikipedia. There's
Right.
no way I have all 6 billion words on Wikipedia memorized, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go to, there's a link. Hit what is it?
Visit
Visit
Wikipedia?
Wikipedia. And I guess that'll take you to Wikipedia. Good. Hold your phone up to your chest.
Okay.
And I want you to think
Invisible?
of, just to your chest so we can't see. And can you think of an object that's relevant to you? Nothing that I would be able to guess, like a microphone or a computer or, anything relevant to the podcast. But yeah, an object, something that would come up on Wikipedia if you were to search it.
Okay.
Do you have something in mind?
I do.
Okay, hold your phone up to your face so we can't see, and hit search within Wikipedia, the search bar within Wikipedia, and then just search whatever object it is you're thinking of. As soon as you hit search, hold your phone back to your chest so none of us can see. Okay. And did an article come up?
Yes.
Okay, and you can hold. So we need a word from that article, but not like a short word, as of, if we'll make it more challenging. We'll say like a longer word. Say at least 6 letters. So in a second, you're going to hold your phone up to your face and you're going to remember the first longish word you see.
Okay.
But before you do that, so it's random, without even looking at your phone, just scroll to a random spot in the article. So it's random. And you can stop whenever you want. Okay, you're going to hold your phone up to your face. Remember the first longish word you see. Say like at least 6 letters and hold it back. Oh, you got one that quick? Okay. Good. So focus on the first letter of the word that you're thinking of. Just the first letter.
Got you.
You got it?
Yep.
Look at me. Here and here. Yeah. So he won't see this. But maybe you. I don't know if this is. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Can you guys see that? Yeah. I don't know if the camera will see it. Don't say it out loud.
Don't say
Can you
it.
see that? For the first time, can you say just the first letter of the word you're thinking of? Just the first letter.
T.
T. Okay, so sometimes this happens. I think I got the first letter of the word that you searched, that you typed in instead. Sometimes I get confused. It happens. Can you say the first letter of the word that you searched?
B.
Okay, so that's where I got this B from. Right? So focus on the word that you searched. Just for a second.
The word I
You
searched,
got it?
okay.
Look at me. Try to project the image of whatever you searched to me, as if it was in the room right now.
Okay.
You got it? So this isn't something that's necessarily big, but I don't know. I'm just gonna go. Can you guys see that? But don't say it out loud. Can you guys see that?
Based on the sound of the letters, I think you got it right.
Yeah. And this is a word you haven't said. For the first time, can you say the word that you searched?
Basketball.
No way.
Now, you thought of a word from within the article, too, right? So maybe if someone was standing behind you, they would clearly see that you searched basketball. But even if someone was standing behind you, they still wouldn't know what word that you thought of from within the article. Right. And you haven't forgotten it?
I have not.
I have not.
Let's just look at, because I started to get this one.
Okay. I think he got it again.
Can you guys see that? Don't say it out loud.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys... Yeah. For the first time, can you say the word that you thought of from within the article?
Throughout.
That's nuts. Yo. How the hell?
Are those words even related? Basketball and throughout?
Nah.
I think you just blew the listener's mind. Like, you were definitely...
That is funny. That is crazy.
I felt a little tingling in my teeth.
It's like, I just know something, like, it's going to blow my mind now, so I'm just like...
waiting for it to happen.
That is crazy.
I think the thing about magic is just it's nostalgia.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? No matter how old you are, no matter where you are in your life, if someone performs and executes a trick the right way, it'll just take you back to when you were a kid. It'll make you feel that, you know, that, that emotion.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny you say that. I just had well, not just, maybe a couple weeks ago, but I had a gig that was, you know, all middle-aged adults, and it was one of the gigs that I took my friend Juan, who's a photographer, and this was like the first performance that he's come with me to see, that he's actually, you know, seen in person, and he made a comment. He was like, "Man, like, you turn those adults into little kids," you know, and I was like, I guess it just made me think of it, because it was like, you know.
Yeah, that's what I said earlier. They grab the kids and then they're just locked in just as much as
7-year-old right with their kid.
Yeah, I feel like I'm just like, I don't know, man.
I just stopped smiling.
That's dope, though. That's dope. You should have seen the card once, though. You got one you can do on camera, or is it just more immediate that we would have to do?
No, we can do this.
Should we temporarily bring the camera in or leave it stationary?
You wouldn't need to. I mean, I don't think
we do
a
digital optical zoom, right?
All
right. So we'll do this.
We gotta get close.
No, it'll be fine. So, I mean, I just mixed these up a little bit. You can see these are all different.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here's the idea. You hold your right finger, pointer finger towards him, and bring it in close. Yeah. And are you a lefty or righty?
Righty.
Okay. Hold your right pointer finger towards him. Like this. Yeah. Just look at each other. Okay. So you're synced now. And I know you don't believe me, but I'll show you how in a second. You can put your fingers down.
Okay.
My
nigga just did the avatar to us. We sync.
Do me a favor. You know how to cut, right? So
yeah.
One portion goes until you just put it directly on the bottom. Can you cut it?
Okay.
Yeah, just Put it on the bottom. Yeah, and then one more time. And then again, just one more time. Good. Now hold the cards under the table so I can't see.
Okay.
And this deck is for you. You're gonna take either the top 5 cards, or you can turn the deck over and take the bottom 5 cards. But make sure you have 5.
Me?
He's gonna do it.
Okay.
Yeah. When you have 5, you can hand me the rest of the deck. You don't need
There
it.
you go. I got 5 here.
And hold them to hold them under the table and mix them up. Good. Can you name a suit? Clubs, hearts, spades, or diamonds? It's up to you.
Diamond.
Okay, you're saying you want diamonds?
I want diamonds.
Okay, so hold the cards up to your face. So
my cards?
Yeah, so you can see them, but we can't.
Okay.
And you said you want diamond, right?
Yeah.
So if you have a diamond, lock that card in your head. If you have more than one, think of one of them. And if you don't have any, then I guess think of any card. But you said you want diamonds. So do you have a card in mind?
Yes.
Okay, good. Hold them to your chest.
All of them?
So we can't see. And you can see these are all different as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very fun.
Okay, so here's the idea. He's thinking of a card. Do me a favor. I'm just going to go through the deck. Can you just call out stop whenever you want?
Stop.
Yeah?
Yep.
Okay, so I don't want to see where you stop me at, and I don't want you to see either. Just hold it to your chest. Good. So now you're thinking of one, and you took one, right? Okay. Can you do me a favor and just repeat after me? Ace 2 3.
Ace 2 3.
Yeah, that's okay.
Ace 2 3.
Right. 4 5 6.
4 5 6.
7 8 9 10.
7 8 9 10.
Jack Queen King.
Jack Queen King.
Okay, hold the cards up to your face so you can see them, but we can't. Repeat after me. Clubs, hearts, spades, diamonds.
Clubs, hearts, spades, diamonds.
Okay, do me a favor. That queen of clubs that's in your hand, put that down. That's not the card you're thinking of. You can just put that down. Yeah. The 2 of hearts as well. That's not the card you're thinking of. You can put that down too. And you can turn them over so they'll be able to see. Okay. 5 of spades. Put that down too. That's not the card you're thinking of. You can put that down. Neither is the jack of clubs. Put that down. That's not the card you're thinking of. Which leaves 1 card in your hand, right? Yeah. Is this the card you've been thinking of?
Yes.
Show everybody your 8 of diamonds.
8 of diamonds.
Now hold on. I synced you guys, right?
Yeah.
So if you were thinking of the 8 of diamonds,
he got the 8 of diamonds.
What card did you take?
8 of diamonds.
That's crazy. Yo, I'm definitely gonna.
This is gonna be the most watched episode.
that's the goal, man. That's the goal. Holy cow!
I almost said stop earlier, and I didn't. And I said stop.
Yo, I'm definitely gonna try some magic.
Oh.
There it is.
I'm inspired.
You inspired him.
Oh yeah, what's your socials?
On Instagram, GS Magic. YouTube, just my full name, George Stanton Magic. Same on Facebook, and then GS Magic 313 on Twitter. Thank you. But yeah, I'm glad you guys like it.
Yeah, hell yeah. So you
I'm
said
gonna be able to sleep tonight.
Yeah, I swear. You know, like when you go watch a movie, like you watch a martial arts movie and you go home, you're like doing martial arts. Yeah. Or you watch like a racing movie, you're trying to drive fast, Need for Speed. That's what I'm about to drive home and start watching just magic videos. I was watching some of your videos earlier. They were pretty cool. So I've been excited. I'm still excited. Shout out to what to say.
No, thank you guys.
I wish we were recording the faces.
Which one?
Studio.
Oh yeah, everyone's face. Yeah. But he can show us some more card tricks off camera, like in person. Yeah. And we'll definitely get some behind the scenes footage so you guys can see that, because he put Reef to bed. Look.
Oh yeah, he never came back out.
He said,
I
"Bro,
forgot
he never came back out."
I didn't want to say
I forgot there was another person
here. Bro, he blew his mouth. Reef was literally, that chair was right there. Reef was jumping over the chair. Whoa,
that's a different kind of magic.
What is he doing? Like, what is he never, once he left, he never came back.
I just realized that.
He never came back. Yo, that's crazy.
Oh, thank you.
Definitely excited, man. I'm looking forward to seeing what you have going on in the future.
Yeah.
I'm definitely a fan. I'm sure everyone else here is too.
If they weren't, there are now.
Yeah. I like I said, I hope everything goes well for you doing your magic and your business and your brand and all that.
Yeah, thank you so much. No, I appreciate that. It's this. I mean, this year with exposure is like the key word.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just trying to perform and meet as many people and put out as much stuff as I can and see what happens from there. So.
Yeah, 2020 is gonna be. I've been saying this since New Year's. 2020 gonna be different.
Yeah,
2020 is gonna be different. I say that for everybody here. I say that for you. I say that for this podcast. I hope we do more numbers than we've ever done before. Because whoever did it is not amazed by that. Something's wrong with you. Because that shit is just crazy. There's definitely. You got a good craft, man.
Thank you. Did my best.
You are definitely gifted. Wow.
Yeah,
I don't even remember the last time I had like magic performed like right in front of me.
Yeah, I don't.
The last time, I don't really remember.
Was there ever a time?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh
I
well.
think there was like at least one time for me, but it doesn't happen often.
Yeah.
And you appreciate like magicians, and that's because there's would you say there's a lot of magicians like in your, because everyone has like not a market, but like the community. Yeah, the community. Is there like a big community of you guys?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, not so much in Chicago, but just around the world in general.
This is my corner. Get off, bro.
I invented that shit.
Like there's definitely a huge magician community.
Are there?
All communicate with each other and so on and so forth. So
help each other. Is it? I know they say Chicago. You said Chicago. You're amazing. I mean, your experience with Chicago has been amazing.
Yeah.
With the networking, a lot of people say Chicago's not the place for networking. So would you say magicians are a little more friendlier than the average?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I think that it's the exact opposite. At least with my experience, everyone that I think. Well, I won't say everyone, but I think maybe 95% of the people that I've performed for, and I've always said like, wow, like that was the first time that I've seen that in person. Like I've seen that type of stuff on TV, but seeing it up close and personal is a different experience, and it's I'm always connecting with different people. Like it's always like, okay, I perform for someone, and then they introduce me to someone, and then they introduce me, and I'm just like connecting with people through other people, and it's all off the magic. So, which is great because it's something that I love doing. The
beauty in the magic, like what's the word you put, like say like it's the beauty in it, in your job that you do.
Yeah. So it's definitely the exact opposite with me. Like I don't know if a lot of the magicians in Chicago are trying to pursue it the same way that I am, because there's so many magicians that don't go out and perform per se, but they'll post videos on social media of different sleight of hand with like really all amazing things and amazing things to watch, but don't actually go out and like perform. So I don't know if there's a lot of people that are pursuing it the same way that I'm trying to do it. I don't think there are. I mean, maybe I could be wrong, but I don't think so. So it's always a unique experience for most of the people.
Yeah,
not all.
With technology and like social media, sometimes you have to just take advantage of that and really push that. Especially with what you do. We were talking about TikTok earlier.
Yeah.
Just to even get involved with it. Just to get involved with that, just what is it? The visuals of everything is just mind blowing. You might just take off.
Yeah, that's something that we've been thinking about for a while that we're definitely going to do now. It sounds like it's pretty easy. I mean, you were just telling me about.
Well, it's not easy. It's kind of like random, but it is like it is easy to do numbers when it does do numbers. Right. But it's Yeah, there's no guessing.
Yeah, random.
You can have a video that has 100 views, and you can have a video that has over 200.
Yeah, so
same
random.
week.
With the same day.
Yeah.
I gotta get familiar with TikTok. I'm not for sure because I'm pretty familiar with Instagram and algorithms for that. And,
I think for your content, if you used TikTok the same as Instagram, you'll find it to be pretty successful.
Yeah,
because what you do is kind of just mind blowing, so people will want to see it, and I think TikTok will value your keeping people's eyes
creativity as well too.
You know,
yeah.
And then you trick people once, they want to come back and be you know, like, what else you got?
Right.
People sit there and watch people do stupid shit.
You're actually doing
So that's
cool
like
shit.
clever or
Cool
like,
stuff.
That's true. I would put it that way.
Like, bro, there's people who sit there and just like drop their plates of foods and friends that prank each other all day and they get millions of views. You're doing something that motherfuckers gonna be like, damn.
There's literally a viral like series of videos from this guy that he walks in and drops a glass cup and gets his parents to react.
Yeah.
And there's at least like 6 of those that have just gone for almost
comments,
1 million views.
What kind of cups do you use? Do you use fake ones? And I'm like, oh my God, people are just people are so crazy.
You don't have to turn your phone on.
Yeah.
That's dope. Like, I think you can definitely. I feel like you can go viral. I mean, social media in general, just off of like the most
random overnight, random
craziest things. Like I put one video out that I thought might go viral, and it did numbers, but it didn't go viral.
Right.
So it's hard to. I don't know. Like I don't really know. Like
it's hard when you want it to go viral. It never does.
Yeah. No. I thought I had the potential to.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But then another thing that I've been thinking about is like the attention span of people. You know, like it's difficult because I'm sure you guys have seen like the videos, magic videos on social media where it's like a 15-second, 10-second, like really visual thing, and then the reactions are like the video's over. But with how I like to present it and do it, it takes some time to set up, I've been trying to, like, how on Instagram there's like the minute constraints before you have to split it into another video or make it IGTV. I've been trying to keep them within a minute, but it's hard to do. Just based off of how I like to perform, and I want to give a performance and not just like a snippet of second, and not discrediting people that do that, because everyone likes that stuff, but it's just difficult for me.
So do you find yourself kind of like creating Instagram 1 minute specific tricks or illusions?
So I try to. Like the last few videos I posted, I've been able to keep them within a minute because they were like highlight, like a condensed version, like advertising, like YouTube videos. Which don't need to be longer than a minute, obviously. But there was one, that I posted of me actually doing an effect on somebody. It was like maybe like a minute 45. But people actually were, were watching all the way through. I was looking at the insights. And you can see like how many times people like DM'd it to someone else. And it was
that's one of my favorite stats. Like people the shares.
Exactly. And that's really what I want more than likes. I don't really care about likes but I want to see people are sharing it or
engaging it.
This person liked it so much they had to tell their people.
Because that especially as a magician, that makes you feel good. It's basically giving you encouragement to.
Especially like if you think of like a magician, how like they started, it's all street stuff, so it's word of mouth. A lot of it's word of mouth. So I'm sure you when people are talking, like I said, I asked you earlier in your dorms, are people asking like, "Hey, that's the magician?" It's kind of like back in the day, like just people like, "Hey, that guy does magic," or "Hey, that," and it gives you that feel of it's real. It's really real to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you're experiencing that every day. when people are like, hey, that guy does magic.
Right.
You know, so it's not like something where like, yeah, it's just a YouTube thing or it's just a internet thing because everyone's talking about it.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, like the freshmen that come in, like there will be like a couple months at the beginning of the year where the freshmen like, you know, find out who I am or like come up to me and whatnot. But for the most part, it's that pencil.
You got it.
Right here. Right here.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's dope. That's dope. I think we got everything we got covered for today.
Random question.
Did?
Okay.
Random question?
What's a magician's beef like in 2020?
A beef?
Yeah, a magician's beef.
Just in case it didn't come up on the mic.
Like, how do y'all be? Like, if there's another magician, you're like, man, I don't like
He said the community as well, bro. Don't you see?
Well,
This guy's been instigating all day, you saw?
There are some exceptions. I can give you an example.
Yeah.
I can give you
Okay.
an example.
Okay.
So for
This
me,
is Love and Hip Hop right here.
for me, there's lots of magicians in the magician community that are, you know, really famous within the magician community, and you know, I'm not, you know, very well known yet within the magician community. So, you know, I see everything that's going on and I'm keeping up with everything. But like the way I describe it to someone, it's like I'm the guy that, you know, is reading all the texts in the group text, but aren't actually replying. You know? And there was a instance a couple years ago where this magician got caught, you know, stooging. So he'd be doing street magic and he'd say, all right, guys, like, I'm about to do this. Like, I want you to react like this and run around and jump up and down and do this and that.
Just for video?
Yeah, just
okay.
for video. And
It looks good on camera.
And someone caught him doing that and recorded it and put it on YouTube, and it went viral within the magician community. So now everyone like doesn't like that particular magician because doing that, faking the reactions and everything is considered you know, like a sin, you know, within the magic community because it's because I don't
sacred.
like it.
It's sacred.
Yeah,
y'all want to keep
the reactions are like what a lot of magicians
it makes
pride
it,
themselves on.
Yeah.
So, you know, once that was seen, like everyone, you know, didn't like him anymore, and you know, there was, you know, beef, you know, that type of beef. But
I guess we're ending on some beef.
But then there's magicians who steal other people's ideas and don't credit them. You know,
that leads right into my question.
Yeah, that's another type of thing that
on a positive note, we can wrap up on a positive note.
I'm not experienced.
Good vibes, y'all.
Yeah.
Good vibes. Good vibes.
Do magicians share the juice? So, like, do they share, like, hey, I like how you did that. Here's something that I do. Or can you walk up to a guy like, I really like that trick. Can you, like, show me the ropes for that? Or I have something very similar, but you do it so much more polished than I do. Where's the... Help me fill in the gaps.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what happens.
Oh,
okay. I don't think I left much room for explanation there. Then.
Yeah, no, that's encouraged. You know, like I've had magicians that have stumbled across my page and messaged me like, "Hey, like, you know, I'm a magician. I saw you do this way. Like, you know, what was the method of this and that?" I'm like, I'll talk to them about it, you know, but I'm not gonna, you know, tell that stuff.
Right.
Random, you know, later, you know, but it's different with, you know, magicians talking to each other.
You just led right into my next question.
What was that?
You have to be a magician to know.
What?
I'm gonna make a fake magician page tomorrow.
Y'all setting me up perfectly. Y'all setting
catfish
me up perfectly.
magicians. Y'all get catfish magicians.
No,
At catfish magician.
You gonna have little whiskers.
That's funny.
So my question was, like, what would you say for a young aspiring magician like my man's over there who wants to jump into magic?
Practice. That's the advice I'm giving, and don't give up, because there's so many times, especially when, you know, I was starting and really learning, and you know how difficult things were, and you know it's discouraging. But once you keep doing it, just repeating it over and over and over again. You know, there's lots of trial and error. Like that's gonna happen. Like, you're trying to study magic and perform it. Like, I want to say like your whole first year, like it's gonna be a whole bunch of trial and error. But you'll eventually start getting it to the point, where you start polishing it, and it's just practice over and over, just repeated practice. And I mean, I spend hours and hours just in my dorm room, just doing the same thing over and over and over again. And I'll blindfold myself and record myself and put it in slow motion and really analyze it. And, just
master your craft.
Yeah, just really trying to get better and better and better. So that's like the overarching it's practice, and also not giving up. But yeah, that's
So one more time before we get out of here, tell the people where they can find you.
GS Magic on Instagram, George Stanton Magic on Facebook and YouTube, GS Magic 313 on Twitter. Someone stole the GS Magic on Twitter. So
did they?
Couldn't keep it.
It'd be like that.
Yeah, hopefully I'll get it back.
Thank you for downloading the episode. Thank you for subscribing to the YouTube channel. We appreciate all the love and support.
Hope you guys really enjoy it, man, because I did. I appreciate you 100% sticking with us, coming out in this weather. I enjoyed it. Appreciate it.
On that note,
we out.